We back for another Tubi movie. It's so bad that it's kind of good. The Wolf, an intruder wearing a wolf mask, kills a girl named Kimmy in her home. He stabs her in the boobies. Meanwhile, in the proposal surprise Kimmy is invited to, a man named Greg proposes to Kimmy's friend, Jordan, who then says yes in front of their loved ones. When Jordan asks her Zeta Zeta Pi University friends, Lauren, Brooke, and April, where Kimmy is, they inform her that Kimmy said she's on her way. Dorrit, the only person of color in the film, is skeptical if Jordan is ready for all of this. But Dorrit eventually minds their business. What kind of name is Dorrit? Short for Doritos? The kimchi girlie criticizes Dorrit for refusing a job offer that her father, Kim Jong-un, offered her, but Dorrit says she really loves her current job with foster kids. Later, when Brooke says Jordan should have her wedding at a castle, April says she can't, as it will be in poor taste, since that was the plan with her late ex-fiancé, Holden. Brooke insists that Jordan shouldn't give up her dream wedding because of it, reminding them that they shouldn't be sympathetic to a cheater. When Jordan's childhood friend Dorrit suggests that they should be considerate of Jordan and what she's going through, Brooke says Jordan should consider herself lucky that it was a suicide and not a murder-suicide when Holden set the fire. When Brooke says Holden had always seemed so unstable, Dorrit says she never felt that way, so she was shocked with how everything unfolded, to which the trio responds with an awkward silence. Lauren then says Jordan dodged a bullet and traded up with Greg, and Brooke agrees, saying it's the reason why she set the pair up. To their horror, Jordan receives a call informing her of Kimmy's death. 3 months later, Greg is worried about the girls on their Bachelorette weekend. Brooke clocks him, saying he has no reason to be jealous. Shortly after, Jordan screams after finding Polaroids of her as Red Riding Hood with Holden, who's wearing a wolf mask, in her kitchen drawer, the same Polaroids she had thrown out. Greg and the girls tell her that she might have just forgotten them, but she tells them that she's sure they weren't in that drawer before. Dorrit arrives, and when Jordan asks why she's there since she had declined because of work, Brooke informs her that she had convinced Dorrit to come. Dorrit notices that the vibe is off and sees the Polaroids. Because of the photos, the worried Greg asks Jordan to cancel the trip, but she decides to go as she doesn't want the girls' efforts to go to waste. Dorrit better not die, and if she does, she better not be the first death or I'm calling Tubi. The ladies arrive at Brooke's family house, unaware that someone is watching them. Brooke's family's assistant, Valerie, greets them, and their Bachelorette limo driver, Darren, tells them to call him if they need him. Later, Valerie pops out of nowhere, giving the typical cheap scares with her fugly face. Dorrit informs Lauren and Brooke, who are by the pool wearing bikinis, that she'll go on a hike. During the hike, she encounters Darren, who has a long-lens camera. When asked what he's doing, he says he's just taking photos of nature, which is his hobby. The oldie looks sussy AF. Dorrit cuts her walk short and informs the ladies, who are all by the pool wearing bikinis, about Darren. Although she chooses not to tell them about her bad feeling about the creepy man, she is visibly uncomfortable, prompting Brooke to suspect that something is up. Brushing it off, Jordan tells them that they're just overly sensitive because of what happened to Kimmy. Meanwhile, Darren is taking photos of the ladies. It's always the white old men. Later that night, Dorrit is startled to encounter one of their waiters, Seth, who's wearing a mask required of all dinner servers. Shortly after, Valerie sees someone walking in a dark part of the house, and as she is checking it out, she is repeatedly stabbed, resulting in her death. During dinner, the white girls think they're wild when they get nachos. They joke about putting everything on their nachos in college, and Dorrit side-eyes them. After dinner, the ladies play Truth or Drink with the questions Brooke printed from a website. Jordan admits that her fiancé is lacking in size. Girl, that's an automatic red flag. Then Dorrit shares that she feels jealous. After all, she's the odd one out since she didn't go to the same university as them. April then reveals that she had sabotaged Jordan's relationship with her ex Caleb because he was a pervert. However, the questions become creepily specific, implying that they are behind Holden's death. Jordan gets upset with the questions, but Brooke swears that they're not the questions she printed out. Jordan suspects Darren because he handled their bags and was around the house with a camera. Cops suddenly arrive and the girls are worried as they question them. However, they're strippers dressed as cops, replacing the tense atmosphere with laughter. Dorrit is not that impressed with the 40-year-old looking Chow Mein man. She goes to the cards with the questions to inspect them, while the girls spank the mid-looking strippers. A few minutes later, a stripper wearing a wolf mask appears, extremely upsetting Jordan and cutting the party short. The guy says he was just following instructions. Brooke says she wasn't the one who told the strippers to do that. Dorrit suggests leaving because it's clear that the person messing with them thinks they're behind Holden's death and is going after them. April and Lauren agree, suspecting it might be Kimmy's killer, but Brooke insists that they stay because they are innocent. Meanwhile, Darren is about to give himself the 5-finger special while looking at the ladies' photos. However, the wolf lures him outside the limo and slices his neck fat. When trying to figure out who's behind it, Brooke accuses Dorrit because Brooke wants to be the token POC in the group. Dorrit tells her to F off, then starts packing out of anger. Jordan follows Dorrit and reveals that she was planning to ask her to be her maid of honor, which delights Dorrit but upsets Brooke, who's eavesdropping. Dorrit accepts and decides to stay. The next morning, Lauren goes on a hike to do yoga at a hilltop alone since no one wants to go with her. Shortly after, Dorrit joins Jordan, Brooke, and April for breakfast, where Brooke apologizes to her. Dorrit then expresses her concern about Lauren going out alone, but Brooke assures her that Lauren will be okay since she has done numerous solo trips before. Unbeknownst to them, Lauren meets a fan of hers on her hike. He admits that he follows her Instagram, which focuses on her fit lifestyle and yoga. He really wants to penetrate Lauren, but he gets penetrated by the wolf instead. Lauren runs for her life, but she's a fake fit influencer, and the wolf catches up to her. Jordan receives a video of Lauren from an unknown number. The ladies watch Lauren confessing that she used her influencer status to ask her fans to make Holden's life unlivable by making him a social pariah, getting him fired from his job, and making him unhireable. She also reveals that Kimmy planted videos on his computer and phone to make it look like he was cheating on Jordan, even if he wasn't. She then apologizes for being one of the reasons behind his death. Jordan confronts Brooke, believing that Kimmy and Lauren wouldn't have acted on their own, but Brooke denies any involvement. When they see Wolf in the video, Dorrit suggests they call the cops and not the fugly ones from last night. April admits that she was suspicious because they always talked about how Jordan could do much better than Holden. But when Kimmy suggested sabotaging Jordan in Holden's relationship like she had done with Caleb, she thought it was a joke. After Brooke realizes that Valerie is missing, she and Dorrit search for Lauren, while April and Jordan stay in case Valerie returns. Jordan then calls Greg to inform him about what's going on, but she doesn't call the cops. She reassures him they're okay, but your friend literally kidnapped. April apologizes to Jordan for not stopping Lauren and Kimmy. When asked why they did it, April says they wanted to stop her from throwing her privileged life away and settling for a low-income life with Holden. This upsets Jordan, who says she was willing to do all that because she was happy with him. Wolf then knocks both of them out. Dorrit and Brooke find the random fan, and they're shocked. They shout for Lauren, whose eyes are supposed to be carved out, but the makeup department had budget cuts. In her dying breath, Lauren says Holden, making Sesame Chicken think Holden is alive, but Dorrit says it's impossible. Jordan and April awaken to find themselves bound in a chair. Seeing the burn scar on Wolf's arm, April thinks he might be Holden. With laced drinks in front of them, Wolf demands a confession about how Holden was made to look like he was a drug addict when he never took drugs. To save Jordan from drinking, April, whose job is administering B12 shots and IV drips to wealthy clientele with hangovers, reveals that a week before the fire, she gave Lauren and Kimmy drugs from a few patients, needles, and a vial because they asked her to. After Wolf concludes that it was to make Holden look like an addict, April apologizes and says she doesn't know how the drugs got into his system because she just gave them what they asked for. She adds that the pair did it because they thought the cheating might not break them up, and she never thought they'd drug him and set a fire. Wolf forces Jordan to drink, causing her to get knocked out. Wolf then forces April to drink, causing her mouth to fill with jizz. Dorrit and Brooke find the limo empty and return to the house, where they find the drinks. Believing Jordan and April are dead, Brooke urges Dorrit to leave, but Dorrit refuses because they might still be alive. Brooke finds the spare key to the limo, but is pursued by Wolf. Meanwhile, Dorrit reunites with Jordan and sees April's corpse. She informs Jordan about Lauren's death and that Brooke went to get help. Brooke trying to save her own ass? Jordan then explains that she's alive because she threw up the spiked drink. When Greg arrives, Brooke, who fails to start the limo, urges him to leave. However, he refuses to leave without Jordan or give her his keys, giving Wolf the opportunity to attack them. He knocks both of them cold. After hearing Brooke scream, Dorrit attempts to save Greg and Brooke, but is overpowered by Wolf. Later that night, Dorrit awakens in the limo trunk while Jordan is bound in the limo with Greg and Brooke. When the unmasked Wolf faces the trio, Brooke remembers that he's their waiter, Seth. Seth reveals that he is Holden's brother and tells Brooke that they've met the night Holden and Jordan got them together to hang out. Seething, he tells them that they took the only family he had. Seth transfers the trio to where the house Holden built for Jordan once stood and burned to the ground. Meanwhile, Dorrit manages to escape the trunk, and she secretly watches them. Seth reveals that he has a burn scar because he heard Holden scream that night, but failed to save him. When he demands the truth, Brooke says the other girls were behind the tragedy, but he demands a confession out of her because he knows she's controlling them with her family's money. To be honest, Seth is totally justified, but he should have just gone after the fortune cookie. With his knife against Jordan's throat, Seth screams at Greg to confess. To save Jordan, Greg confesses falling in love with Jordan the moment they met, so Brooke came up with a plan to discredit Holden to get him out of the way, but he never expected it to end in tragedy. When confronted, Brooke tells Jordan that she saved her because she was throwing away her life for love, mocking her feelings for Holden. When Greg begs Seth to let Jordan go because she's innocent, Seth lets go of Jordan, whose tears are replaced with a smile, and says that they only plan to kill the guilty, revealing that he and Jordan are in on it together. When Jordan expresses her anger about her friends manipulating her and burning her fiancé alive, Brooke says Holden was supposed to be knocked out, angering Jordan even more. After Seth fatally shoots Greg, Jordan says she wants Brooke to experience what Holden did. Dorrit then attacks Seth from behind, resulting in his death. She tells Jordan that she can't let her commit a crime and that doing so won't bring Holden back. As Dorrit and Jordan struggle for the gun, Brooke frees herself. After Jordan is accidentally shot, Brooke attempts to kill Dorrit with a knife to silence her. The sushi girl PMO so bad. In her dying breath, Jordan fatally shoots Brooke, resulting in her death. Dorrit tearfully begs Jordan to fight to live, but Jordan happily accepts her death as she finally gets to reunite with Holden. Dorrit, the only survivor and Jordan's true friend, tearfully protects Jordan. She recounts to the detective how they were attacked by a man in a wolf mask and how Jordan saved her. Girl, I would not have done that considering she helped kill other innocent people, like the random fan and geriatric Valerie. Well, I'm glad our girl Dorito survived. She was the only good thing about this Tubi mess. What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.